Hello. This is for the review of Unit 2. So we're going to jump to that part, which happened to already have scrolled over here. So just click this. It starts on slide number 46. Apologies. I don't know why Zoom popped up. We'll scroll down to 46. It looks like this. Let me make my screen bigger. So we have a matching, a multiple choice, a fill in the blank, another matching. That's kind of matching and fill in the blank together. More matching, and then some short answer. All right, let's do it. Match the word to its definition. A monomer is a small molecule like an amino acid. A polymer is many of them put together, such as a polypeptide. Dehydration, you think you're dehydrated, you've lost water, you remove water. So this is creating a polymer by removing water. Hydrolysis is the other way around, break apart a polymer by adding water. And tetravalence, tetra means 4. It's having 4 bonding electrons. B, D, A, C, E. Scroll down. Water is polar. A molecule that is made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen and is made of 6-sided rings. It looks like a ring. Well, if you're not sure, we have all these notes here. You can just scroll back up and look. Which one do we see a picture of a thing that looks kind of vaguely circular? Well, there's one. There's a ring. That's a carbohydrate. That would be C. An example of a monomer is blank. An example of a polymer is blank. And this one, you have to be careful to get the monomer name first and the polymer name second. A doesn't even make any sense. Those two don't even go together. B, nucleotide and nucleic acid. That one's correct. And C is, they go together, but they're backward. That's the polymer first. So a lipid is defined as a molecule that is, so it doesn't like water. Because remember, those are the oils and the fats. So which word means it doesn't like water? Maybe this. Hydrophobic. An acid has a pH of blank. A base has a pH of blank. C and D don't even make any sense. They're just random numbers, really. It would be A, because acids are below 7 and bases are above 7. B is backward. I chose you a base first, then acid. Oops, sorry. Skip forward. Carbohydrates and proteins are 2 types of macromolecules. Which functional characteristic of proteins distinguishes them from carbohydrates? This is an example of a keystone question. It's from an old keystone test. So it's kind of what their questions look like. But really what it wants to know, the functional characteristic, this word here, functional characteristic, is what does a protein do that other molecules cannot do? Store information. No, that's genetics, that's nucleic acids. Catalyze biochemical reactions is an enzyme. Okay, well, most proteins and enzymes go together. Usable chemical energy is carbohydrates and lipids, so it's most likely B. So CC, BC, AB. Page 2 or slide 47. There's a word bank along the top here, and you're going to fill in the blanks. Carbon can bond with up to blank other atoms. There's only one word in here that's a number, so it has to be 4. Or if you'd like to just write 4, that's fine. Carbon forms very secure blank bonds. If we scroll back up, showing you that you can find all this stuff in your notes somewhere. Here's carbon. And carbon forms bonds. Hopefully you have it filled in. This is my example notebook. That's why it's not filled in. It is covalent bonds. When combined with H, O, N, and P, it forms all of the important macromolecules. That doesn't really fit, but you can get what I mean there. Polymers are formed through, we literally just answered this. Go back here. Create a polymer by removing water is dehydration. Dehydration reactions and broken apart through hydrolysis. There we go. So carbon combined with up to 4 other atoms. Carbon forms very secure covalent bonds. When combined with HONP, it forms all the important macromolecules. Polymers are formed through dehydration reactions and broken apart through hydrolysis reactions. Next up, we have the properties of water. I'm going to do it by looking at the letters and matching them to their numbers. A says ice floats on water, allowing life to live underneath it. Ice is the solid form of water, so that would have to go there. B, attraction between two of the same molecules. Co means like together, the same, so that is cohesion. Can break apart to form acids and bases. That is called dissociation. Amount of heat needed to change temperature by 1 degree Celsius. There's only one of them that has the word heat in it. So, guess it's that one, high specific heat. Attraction between two different molecules is adhesion. And force required to break the surface of a liquid. There's only one that has the word surface in it. There we go. E, B, F, A, D, C. Oh, too far. Which molecule is being described below? Fill in the blanks. And some of them might be used more than once. I don't think so. I think we have one for each blank. But anyways, made of hydrogen and oxygen, important for chemical reactions in cells. There's only one of them that doesn't have carbon. Characteristic carbohydrate, lipid, protein, nucleic acid, water. There's only one that doesn't have carbon in it. And that is water. Made of CHON, used to do jobs for the cell. The monomer is a Whoa, that shouldn't say polysaccharide. That should say polypeptide. My bad. Because CHON, polysaccharides don't have nitrogen, but proteins do. This one would be carbohydrates. I'm just going to write carbs so that it fits on the line. CHLNP used for genetics, that's nucleic acids. Remember that it starts with N-nucle, N-U-C-L-E. That has something to do with DNA. Whoa. And there's only one left, does not have a monomer. Lipids. Water, proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids, lipids. Page 3, just 2 short matching sections. Match the molecule to its group. Which one of those is a lipid? Which one, lipids don't like water. So which one, if you put water on it or mixed water with it, it wouldn't mix together? Would be wax. Nucleic acid. Remember N-A, nucleic acid. N-A, N-A, N-A. Ribonucleic acid. It's telling you that it's a nucleic acid right in its name. Protein would be like an enzyme. And then carbohydrate usually ends in ose. So cellulose. There you go. DABC. Match the monomer to its polymer. I think the easiest one is polysaccharide and monosaccharide. I mean, they look almost the same. Same with nucleic acid and nucleotide. I mean, come on, the names are almost the same. The only one that might be a little bit confusing is protein and nucleic acid, but they're the only choice left, so it's got to be that. GFE. All right, let's go to those short answers. In the matching section above, why is lipid not a choice for a polymer? look back here. Lipids not a choice in this section. Why not? Because, scroll back up here till we find lipids. They don't have monomers and polymers. That's why they're not an option. They don't have a similar one. All the other molecules do. Like carbohydrates all have monosaccharides that come together to make polysaccharides. Lipids don't have that. They're just together because they don't like water. Now, this here with the A, B, and C is a really good example of a writing question that you would see on the Keystone. They usually break them into 3 parts. That's why I'm showing these things to you now. So when you get to the Keystone, you're like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. Maybe you don't remember the question necessarily, but you're like, the format looks okay. You're comfortable with that. And then you can struggle with the question if you have to, but at least you know you're used to seeing that kind of question. So we have some information at the top, and there's 3 questions. Proteins are a major part of every living cell and have many different functions within each cell. Carbohydrates also perform numerous roles in living things. Part A. Describe the general composition of a protein molecule. Composition in this case means like, what is it made of? What's a protein made of? We can look back because you're not taking the Keystone now, you're doing a review. So look back when we did proteins. It's looking for like this stuff. What is it made of? What are the monomers and polymers called? So they're made of atom C, H, O, N, and N. We also just did that a second ago back in this question on the bottom here. C-H-O-N, except that polysaccharide's wrong. I have to remember to fix that. Let me type. I should probably reword that in a second. The monomer for proteins is, say R, amino acids. Part B, describe how the structure of proteins differs from the structures of carbohydrates. We literally just talked about the structure of proteins right here. So how are carbs different? We're kind of comparing the two. How are they different? If you look back in your notes, let me find the carbohydrate page. There you go. You have the same kinds of things. I was going to say how they're different. Excuse the fan on my computer if you can hear it. My computer sounds like it's about to take off. Anyways. Carbohydrates are made of the atoms C, H, and O. The monomer for carbohydrates are monosaccharides. And then I'm going to say this is different from proteins because let's say carbohydrates, let's be specific. Carbohydrates do not have nitrogen. I think that's a good answer for us there. Part C, describe how the functions of proteins differs from the functions of carbohydrates. So functions are what do they do? What does a protein do versus what does a carbohydrate do? That's it. Let's reword this. The function of proteins is to do Wait, I'm pulling this straight from your notes. You scroll back up until you see proteins, purpose, to perform jobs for the cell. I know that's what you wrote there because I made the notes. The function of our Oh. Carbohydrates is energy, structure, and storage. If you don't want to look in your notes, there are several other places where we did in this notebook where you can find the answers to that A, B, and C. One of them was just 2 pages ago here at the bottom. We did water. We had this page where we compared structure and function. So you just compare carbohydrate row with the protein row. So, I mean, there's many places you could have found these answers. I'm not asking you anything that you don't already have answers for. You just have to kind of write it out in sentences. I would expect at least one short answer question on your test. It might or might not be the same as this, so don't just memorize this answer. Kind of be prepared for a question that you're going to have to write out something. Even if we are online, your test is still happening. So groups A and C, it's happening Thursday. Group B, it's happening Friday. Okay? Okay. You need to make sure this is all filled in. Every single slide on this entire notebook, all 49 slides of it, have all the stuff filled in. And then if you go into Schoology, you'll see a button that says Submit Assignment. Just click that and they'll send your notebook to me and I'll grade it. I need to have the notebook in by Friday because it's going on this marking period. Okay? Okay. If I don't hear anything from you guys, then I'm going to assume that you're doing just fine at home. If you're not doing fine, if you're confused, lost, have no idea what's happening, let me know. I'll see you next time.